Hey guys, it's Steph, and I wanted to share with you a little bit of my story. And I wanted to start by asking you a question. Have you ever felt the need to change who you are just so that you could fit in? Well, growing up, this was my story. I always had the desire to belong. I wanted to be loved and accepted by those around me. I attended a private school through 8th grade. During this time, there was definitely an in crowd, and then there was a few outsiders who didn't really fit in. And that was me. It was during this time that I accepted my identity as an outcast, wanting to have friends, but never really feeling loved or accepted by my peers. Then high school came, and all this changed. For the first time, I was making friends that truly cared about me and loved me for who I was. I had a best friend for the first time, one that I could depend on and count on to be there for me at all times. I thought I had it all, and I was loving the friends that I was making. As my senior year of high school approached, I was beginning to see that my friends, while they were great, they weren't perfect. The friends that had come to mean so much to me could never meet every need that I had. At about this time, a good friend throughout high school invited me to youth group, which was just a large group meeting for high school students at her church. It was here that I felt a true sense of belonging and love. I didn't feel the need to hide who I was or to be somebody that I wasn't just to fit in, something I thought was key to having a lot of friends up until this point. One night when I got to youth group, I was given a piece of paper and asked to write down the things that were holding me back from experiencing God in my life. This idea was new to me. Experiencing God? Could I really do that? Growing up, I'd always gone to church because it was the right thing to do. I believed in God, but I didn't understand that He was personal, that He wanted a relationship with me. As I wrote down the things that were coming to mind, I realized that I was a sinner. No matter how hard I tried, I would never be able to change the wrong things that I had done. These sins prevented me from being able to have a relationship with Christ. After I was done writing down these things on a paper, I took my piece of paper and I nailed it to the cross that was in the back of the room. After I sat down, our youth pastor shared that it was only through accepting Christ and the sacrifice He made in dying on the cross for my sin that I'm completely forgiven and able to have a relationship with Christ. This choice would also mean that I would spend eternity in heaven with Jesus. That night, I agreed with God that He needed to be the center of my life, and I prayed and began my relationship with Him. Since then, I've come to realize that Christ loves and accepts me for who I am. I no longer worry about what other people think of me or how I'm going to fit in. I don't associate my identity with being an outcast. I've found that what I really need is to be loved and accepted by Christ. So if you take one thing away from my story, I would encourage you to remember this. Romans 15:7 says, "To accept one another then, just as Christ accepted you, in order to bring praise to God." Accepting Christ truly has changed my life. My question for you, will you let Him change yours?